Hi, I'm Anita of Magic and I podcast, and welcome to the channel. So, Meghan gave an interview to Godmothers. This is a bookstore out in Montecito. If you remember, a couple months ago, Meghan was at this bookstore opening and she was giving a speech. And you remember the photo of Oprah walking in, and then we saw later photos of Meghan at the event, as well as Prince Harry and Meghan greeting the two owners of Godmothers, and they are Jennifer Rudolph Walsh and Victoria Jackson. Both of them appeared on Meghan's show with Love Meghan, and Victoria Jackson also appeared on Meghan's podcast Archetypes. So she has a close relationship with, at least we know, Victoria Jackson. So the format of this article is a Q&A, question and answer, and I'll put them on the screen as well as read it out so that you guys can see the questions that were asked as well as the responses that Meghan gave. So let's get into it. Question: Godmothers, what are 3 books that have shaped you? Whether you related deeply to the characters, were consumed by the storytelling, or encountered truths that felt as though they were written just for you. Meghan's response: our kids' ages, Archie is 5 and Lily is 3, mean we're deep in the world of children's books. And may I just say, I absolutely love it. So many picture books offer insights and perspective that I wish I had exposure to as a child. 2 current favorites: Brendan Wenzel's They All Saw a Cat shows a cat from the perspective of a bee, a dog, and everything in between. To some, the cat looks scary, to others, it looks playful. It's the best reminder that even as adults, we can all be looking at or talking about the exact same thing, but we all see it differently. I gifted this book to kids and adults. It's amazing. The Rabbit Listened by Cory Dorfell is an incredible book that reminds us that people need you to show up for them in different ways. Above all, it beautifully articulates the power of listening. Sometimes that's all people need. I recently finished Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara, which I truly believe is one of the most impactful books on hospitality and how we host, entertain, and care for each other. Will sees the world through the same lens that I do. Small act of thoughtfulness create larger ripple of goodness. It's one of my favorite reads. Godmothers ask Meghan, what activities could you get lost in for hours if life didn't get in the way? Meghan's response: I love flower arranging. It's not something I grew up doing, but arranging flowers, whether they are from my own garden, the farmer's market, a flower mart, or Trader Joe's, is one of those simple pleasures that I can get lost in. Standing there, arranging each stem, moving a small sweet pea from one spot to another, turning the vase to see it at every angle, and running back out to the garden to clip another small flower, or to pluck fresh mint or rosemary blossoms to add extra dimension and interest. Every moment of that for me is magic. Flower arranging sparks my creativity, allows me tangibly to get my hands in something that adds beauty and connects me to nature. My kids have jumped in to help me make arrangements too, which makes it all the sweeter. Godmothers ask Meghan, if a pet peeve is something that annoys you more than it should, what are 3 pet joys? The small things that inspire a disproportionate amount of joy and delight you more than they should at face value. Meghan's response: cashmere socks are an indulgence I love, but I always love the cashmere-like socks you find online that are easy to wash and super affordable. I don't know what it is, but cozy, cuddled up feet make me feel comforted. I also love finding a good deal. That may be in my DNA from clipping coupons from the Sunday paper with my mom when I was little. But I always feel triumphant when I've bought something on sale or found a coupon code online. And Saturday morning cartoons in bed is also high on my list. In the UK, they call it duvet day, and I've always found that sweet. Our little family, snuggled up for an easy family morning followed by pancakes and bacon. The dream. Godmothers ask Meghan. The name Godmothers was inspired by fairy godmothers, so not godmothers in the religious sense, but the magical women in your life who have supported and shaped you. Who are the godmothers who have shaped your life? Meghan's response. The two extraordinary women who created Godmothers, Jennifer Rudolph Walsh and Victoria Jackson, are my godmothers. They're very different people with a different love language, but their spirit and their importance in my life is the same. The way Jennifer and I can right the wrongs of the world during a 2 hour hike and then meet for cocktails later in the day and laugh about everything and nothing at the same time is the perfection of our bond and both sides of the coin. And in Victoria, to have someone that always checks in and is just pure love, loving our kids and us as if we are truly her own family and putting everything above herself has filled my cup in the most profound way. They both show up for me with years of wisdom, lived experience, and insight. And yet, they're my girls as much as they are my mentors. Their friendship is less about the words of advice they've given and so much more about the acts of simply showing up that they do every day. Godmothers ask Meghan, what songs or singers reminds you most of your childhood? Megan's response. There was a lot of Joni Mitchell, Buzz Skaggs, and James Taylor in my house growing up. There was also a lot of Anita Baker playing in the car on the drive to school. I was exposed to what my mom listened to versus kids' music, and I'm sure that informed my eclectic taste in music, lyrics, and rhythm and soul. My favorite radio station when I was a little girl was KRF 101, which was all oldies. That's still reflected in what I play at home. The Beach Boys, the Supremes, Otis Redding, even Annette Funicello for fun pool party mix when the kids have a play date. I love happy sing along music that you can dance to in the kitchen, and I made sure that was represented in With Love Megan on Netflix. Godmothers ask Megan, what's one of your favorite things to talk about? Megan's response. Oh, I love to talk about food, the new recipes or restaurants someone has tried. I want to know why a dish was so good, if the hot sauce is as spicy as I'd like it, and whether the restaurant's vibe is more date night or more girls' night out. I'm so inspired by cooking and the food that people find craveable. I could talk about food for hours. Godmother asked Megan, when was the last time you felt like a beginner at something? Megan's response. Right now, I'm launching my business as ever, which has been my heart song for years. Every day, I'm learning so much as a founder. I'm taking baby steps and big strides at the same time, making mistakes and learning from them, and really working to find all the joy while diving into the creative process and the business. Being in the granular parts of the business gives me the same feeling I have when I'm gardening, bare hands in the soil, planting a seed with so much care and nurturing it as it grows. There's something energizing about being in my 40s and turning my passion project into a business and sharing that with the world. So I really enjoyed this interview. Megan gave an explanation of her journey and where she is right now. And this interview is a good way for somebody who doesn't know much about Meghan to learn about Meghan. I think that this interview is honest. It is exactly who Meghan is. She's showing also that she's vulnerable. Here she's saying that she's made mistakes. She's learning as she goes along. And this has been a lifelong dream of hers, her business as ever. And she is doing what she's supposed to be doing. And she's not trying to be somebody that is an expert at anything. She said she's learning, she doesn't know it all. And you have to respect somebody like this. And I truly respect her for her honesty and showing how vulnerable she is for sure. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.